Hey everybody, it is day 37 of 365 days of my raw suspending disbelief journey. It is May 29th, 2024. And as it is day 37, I am officially at or just past the 10% complete mark for this year. So 365 days. Day 37, I am at the 10% mark. And I don't know why I've been drawn so much to be aware of this. I haven't actively been trying to remember or pay attention. It just keeps on being, um, it keeps pulling my attention. It keeps on drawing my attention to it. So there's something there that must be important. And I'm paying attention to it. And then as I was thinking of it, just before I hit record, um, I was thinking like, okay, no, I actually just did hit that mark. I did actually just pass it. Like I'm officially there. It would be like 10 point, a very small percent, or whatever. Um, and I remembered all of a sudden I was like, so in the church that I grew up in, we paid tithing. So tithing is, for anyone who doesn't know, is you give a portion of what you earn um, to support and further the work of the church. I really like that's how I kind of perceive it. So maybe I'm not describing it perfectly. I don't know. Um, and I know that in a lot of religions, that goes to like pay the staff sort of thing, like the priests or whatever. That's how they get paid. In the church that I was raised in, um, that was used to build church buildings to um, help stock what was called the bishop's storehouse. Like they would have food on hand for families who were maybe struggling or people who were struggling, things like this. So, um, like the leaders in that church didn't get paid a salary; they had regular jobs on top of their church positions. Um, anyways, I don't really know why I was being like having that put into my mind right before I hopped on this, but it just was like this connection between I've gotten 10% of the way through, and tithing as a kid was frustrating because I didn't have much money. We were really broke, like very, very, very poor. um, and the odd time that's I don't know, maybe a grandparent gave me $5 or something like that. I had to take 10% of that and give it away. And I do understand that it was a good practice to always be setting aside some of your money or things like that. And anyway, one of the things that I've realized over the last couple of years during healing, during like, facing a lot of my limiting beliefs and things that have come up in my life. One of the things that I did come across was that particular thing had made me feel like my money wasn't safe. Like if I made a lot of money, it would just be taken away from me, which is not, it is a limiting belief, right? It's not necessarily fact. It's just something that had been buried in my subconscious that I was able to like kind of dig out and work through and stuff. But it was very much related to that tithing thing where it wasn't optional for me, right? It has been tough to be and not being in charge of it and not being the one calling the shots, letting the universe call the shots, or at least co-create them with me and not do it all myself. That has been hard. So yes, I do equate that with a sacrifice. And so yeah, I found that very interesting. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. I have not had any things come into my awareness, any conversations, any something that I've seen online or anything to remind me of tithing. That came out of the absolute blue. So taking it for what it is, taking it for a message that is meant to be received, and I'm suspending disbelief that is. I just realized I said surrendering disbelief before. Anyway, whatever. But suspending disbelief that, yeah, that was like my tithing period, that I've done the sacrifice part, and now I get to move forward, right? I get to um, cover my needs now. But I guess I just felt like I needed to explore it a little bit. So thanks for bearing with me while I did that. Um, the today was my makeup birthday day with my little girl. And so we did a lot of things, just me and her. She played with her makeup set that I got her, because she always loves to be fingers in my makeup and disappearing with pieces of them and stuff. But so she did some of that. We played a bit, things like that, whatever. We went to the park. We didn't end up going for as long because it was gorgeous out and it was supposedly really warm, but the wind was cold. So we played. I was climbing all over the playground with her. She was directing the play, which she loves to do. So it was like, Kate, we're going here now. We're doing this now. This is what this is, in imagination land kind of thing, like just very, we're going to this person's house, and that structure right there is that person's house. So we need to get in the car and drive, and then we're going to run over to that part of the playground and pretend we're at their house. And then we're going to run back to the car and drive to a new place. And like, we just did this, um, whatever came into her head. And she was showing me how she was learning how to get started on the swings pumping by herself. And, you know, it just little things, and just giving her all of my attention and being present, and spending that time together, and then making her the food that she wanted, even though it was like, bleh. uh, things like this. So that was the whole day. I did up the cake that I had planned with the um, cat shape and the triangle ears and all the things, and she loved it, and it was lots of fun. My dad and his wife came over, and we all hung out for a little bit. They came for cake and brought a gift and all the things. We just played, we had fun. So it was really good in that way. I did have a couple of hours of working time where while she was napping this afternoon before it was time to go pick up my son, and um I was feeling a bit of overwhelm. I was feeling like, oh my gosh, like there's so many things and that I would really want to get done. And which one do I work on? Which thing do I focus on? And getting into that where you get too much into your head. And I knew, like, just, everything that has been happening lately, I was like, no, we're not doing that. Getting in my head is totally useless. So when that starts to come up for me, when I'm feeling like, okay, I'm spending too much time being present, yeah, which I don't really think that you can spend too much time being present, but when it's like this feeling of, okay, I've given up all of the extra time and I have no extra minutes, so I have to do all of the most important things and I can't waste a single minute of it. Like, when I start feeling like that and I really get into my head, I'm like, okay, time to shut off, time to um slow down and meditate and get clear on what I should be working on. And that is so contrary to who I used to be. Oh my gosh. So I used to be, and I mean, it is and it's not. It really is a more effective version of who I used to be. So I was always nicknamed the Queen of Productivity. Even as an ADHD woman, it was just like, I absolutely killed getting anything done in rock star periods of time. Like I managed so much and was amazing at it and was really proud of it for a long time. And I have said recently, where I've had these really productive days, I do love that feeling. I love feeling productive. I love, and not even for other people's sake. It just is like, it's relief in my body. I feel proud of myself, like all of those things. And part of that is from, uh, negative things that have been sort of pounded into me as limiting beliefs throughout my life. But it, regardless of how it came to be, it feels amazing, right? So, um, what I'm learning to, and like this is a long term learning thing for me, it's like an ongoing learning thing for me. Um, and I'm getting a lot better at what I'm learning is that I am the most productive, I am the most effective, and the most successful when I slow down, when I do not just fly into action and do 20 million different things, when I actually tune into what the one right thing is to do right now, that like the most aligned thing. And when I do that, I am very often surprised by which thing it is that I'm supposed to work on. Um, I am frequently shocked at the things that come out of those sessions. A lot of the time by tuning in, I end up channeling, I end up um, receiving really clear messages instead of, a little bit of like tiny nudges that I have to then decipher. It's like, no, they're really clear from my spirit team, from my guides. And I'm getting a lot better at it, but it is still hard for me. So anyway, today I was getting into that headspace and I was like, okay, no, I need to stop. I need to slow down. I'm going to meditate, just take some really deep breaths and just clear my mind and tune into what I should be doing right now. And I wound up um, not even intending to, but wound up channeling uh, more information for my Wild Feminine Leaders Inner Circle, and getting really clear on who it is for, who I'm calling in for that, and that I had set it at a price point that it was right for the level of transformation that I thought was going to be coming out of that sort of mastermind inner circle space. Um, and instead, the transformation that is going to be coming out of it, the massive shift that it undertook today, uh, it was not calling in the right people at the price point that I had it at. And I was like, to the point of me going, holy shit, like this thing is incredible. And it is, I don't want to call in people at that price point. That's not who I'm talking to. That's not, they're not going to be the ones that succeed in this container. And let me tell you, that was a different way of thinking ever. That was not something I had ever had crossed my mind before. And I ended up quadrupling the price that I had it set at. And I went through, wrote a post, like channeled a post. I honestly, I don't know if I could tell you what it said in that post. I mean, I know the gist of it and I know the behind the scenes of it. I know the information, but um that post just, it came out, I posted it, and then literally my alarm went off to be like, you need to go pick up Jace. And I was like, what the hell? Like that was my entire working period today. It was not what I thought was going to happen. I was just like, okay, rolling with it, right? Following my intuition, following my nudges, and um, suspending disbelief because charging quadruple the price for this is a price tag that I have never put on anything less than a one-on-one coaching scenario. So it was a stretch, but it didn't feel scary in the moment. It felt like, no, this is absolutely, I need to be calling in someone different. So it was a very interesting thing for me. I would normally be shaking in my boots almost to have posted the amount that I changed it to, but it felt right. It felt super aligned um and yeah, just right on track. So totally suspending disbelief that that is correct, that I am now on a better track, calling in the right people, um, calling in the right women who are meant to work with me on this particular thing, in this particular container, and um, make the big impact that we are going to make, the women in this inner circle. So anyway, it was different. It was a very different way of doing things in business, and even more so than it has been lately for me. So it was very, very interesting, very, very stretchy. Uh, Also very, very exciting. Like, I still don't feel like, nope, that was a bad idea. Why did I do that? I'm not questioning myself. I'm not, um, regretting putting it out there online. I'm not none of that. Um, and I think the biggest thing is that I didn't quadruple the price because I wanted more money. It wasn't like that. It was like, no, no, I am not speaking to the right people at the price point that it's at. And anyone who is the right person would look at that price point and assume that it's not going to be the level of transformation that they need, that they're looking for at this time. So that was, I've heard coaches say things like that. And I've understood it on one level. This was a different level. So very interested to see how that goes. Very interested to see how the other 90% of this 365-day journey goes. Continuing to choose to feel what I want to create in my life, which is success and abundance in all ways, not just financially. And I am definitely feeling that I am successful, that I am abundant, that I am all of those things, in all of the areas, and also having room to grow. And um just yeah, I'm super excited. I know I don't sound very excited tonight because I'm very tired tonight. Also because all the sugar and and stuff like that, and I think I'm crashing. But anyway, yeah, that was my very interesting and felt so random day. So sorry if it was random and all over the place. I hope I made sense. I hope that that gave some sort of inspiration, guidance, clarity, whatever for somebody. Um, Sometimes I don't know why I'm sharing the parts that I'm sharing, and I just assume that it's what's meant to be shared, and so I let it come through. Um, and if you ever want to share that it was for you, that it was something that resonated highly for you, that was powerful for you, or felt supportive for you, I would love to know about it. Whether you send me an email, um, Brianna, BRIANNAH at heartbeatsharbor.ca, or if respond to the Q&A section in the um, show notes of each episode, at least in Spotify. Um, and tell me about something that resonated for you, something that you needed to hear or whatever. And especially if it's one of the weird things like the tithing thing, like I have no idea where that came from. So I love to know. I love to hear about it. I think the synchronicities and sometimes the channeling for other people when I don't even know who I'm channeling for thing is so cool. I think it's so fun. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna stop babbling. I love you guys. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.